Hello everyone with Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you a reading here for this weekend of December 10th and 11th, 2022. And so we have here out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck, we have the Page of Pentacles coming out with the Seven of Cups. Now I want you to notice, if you can see in the card, the details on the Page of Pentacles. This gentleman is very focused on the coin, very grounded. A little bit of a scattered energy comes in with this, even though this is an earth energy coming in with it. But this page is very strong physically, right? There's a lot of muscle, right? Putting in the work. And that's exactly what the energy is here, right? I really feel as though there is a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. There is intent put behind all of these actions, really looking forward to accomplishing really great things, right? But there's distraction in the air, right? Or maybe there is a little bit of indecisiveness. And so I feel as though putting in the work and the effort, I feel like there's been, things have been going according to plan, but you're moving slowly, right? And so as you are moving slowly, you're moving with intent. And I feel as though this moving with intent is more so that you can kind of feel things out, right? Maybe you're doing this purposefully and, really feel like it's a way to kind of guide yourself through with action, right? Now, I feel as though the timing has to be just right for things to really go your way, or to feel like you're coming onto the other side of this hill. I really feel like momentum has been slowly building, or you're really like pushing this boulder up to this top of this hill, and you're feeling like, man, something's got to give. I feel like nothing is happening for me. But once you get to the top of that hill and you're pushing that boulder, once you get up at the top, it will slowly fall to the other side. Things will feel effortless and seamless, right? Once you get that boulder up over that breaking point or at that top of that hill, right? And so I feel like, sometimes you can feel like your energy is scattered in the fact that, like, sometimes you are on overflow or overload. In fact, I feel like maybe you have too many tasks coming at you, too many things that you have to do at once, or it's like feast or famine. You could have the other aspect of it, like, man, I have all of these things done and I still feel like I'm not accomplished enough to really get myself up over that hump, right? So I feel like, again, it's all about the timing. And now remember, some of timing comes in with being divine timing, right? Things have to be in alignment for those things to really work out for you. So I feel like you're putting in a lot of work and a lot of effort, and it almost to the point where it's just consuming you, right? And it's like you really want to, do well with this and to accomplish great things. But I feel with this, it's a sense of, you like jack of all trades but master of none, right? Like you are learning a lot of things, perhaps getting through a lot of lessons on an emotional level, but really not keeping your energy and effort focused on like the one thing that would get you the most momentum and getting that boulder up over the top of that hill, right? Because when we look at the Seven of Cups, this is distracted energy or like indecisiveness. Like, okay, maybe if I try this, this will work. Or maybe if I try this, this will help me. Or maybe if I get my feet wet in this task, maybe I will learn some things. And you're just looking to get ahead. That's all, right? But in order to really get yourself through that point, right, to that breaking point, you're feeling like, gosh, something's got to give. There's just this one thing that's kind of, if you were to focus and put all of your effort into that will really get that rolling for you, get that ball rolling kind of to get you to where you need to be. So I feel like you're naturally gravitating to what you feel that you need to do. So just kind of pay attention to your intuition, feel things out. I think you know what is right for you. So, do that, okay? So I feel like, this isn't necessarily what looks to be more fruitful to like the eye of the beholder, right? So I feel like what would ordinarily look to be like, oh, that's the thing that would get me the furthest, or that's the thing that would get me like the most money coming in, or that would be the thing that would get me the most momentum. I feel like those things it's like the opposite of that is what's going to be working for you. So it's not going to be the obvious choice. I feel like, again, it's going to be something that it's something you're overlooking, and when you actually start to focus on that, you'll see the results. If you give it enough time and you're focusing your energy on that, you'll actually see the results. And I do feel like you'll feel it, right, in your soul, because it's fulfilling, and with your pouring your passion into that, it grows more and more. And so I feel with this too, you hold yourself to a certain standard, or you're holding yourself to a level of accountability with it, because I feel as though there's some sort of checklist, and it's like, oh, okay, yes, this is working, it works for me, and I feel like it checks all the boxes. So I feel like once you get in that groove, you're like, yeah, all of this is adequate, satisfactory. But getting yourself to kind of weed through all of these options, it's gonna feel like a daunting task. It's going to feel really difficult or strenuous to kind of weed through all of that, right? When you're looking at all of the options and all of the things that you have to do to perhaps get yourself to where you want to be. But this is where it's important to know what is important to you, right? This is where when I pulled the self-care Sunday card, we have the priorities card coming out. Okay, so this is like, get your priorities straight. When you know what's important, saying no gets much easier. Gosh, I feel like I can't talk tonight. I apologize. So, I feel like once you get to that effort, and putting in the work, and knowing what is aligned for you, aligned with your vision, aligned with your goals, do you know what you feel gives back to you, right, so to speak, is fulfilling, and then knowing also what aspects of this path or journey for you kind of resonate as coming in as forms of lessons to help you, to guide you onto getting yourself into choosing that one thing that would help you to get you to where you need to be, right? Is this moving with that intent guiding you to that one thing, right? Are all the obvious choices, right, that you feel are so obvious, are they all then really just leading you down this one path, and you haven't really set the time and space and energy aside to kind of sit with it and really see that at this point? So really kind of understanding that coming through all of these things, you learn all of these lessons, and really it's the universe just kind of like using these signs and lessons to kind of show you the way inadvertently, so to speak. So, I really feel like at what point do you really understand that this is really about weeding these out by saying, hey, universe, this is a no for me. And once you start to do that, you'll see some of these things might even start to fall away on their own, because you're setting that boundary with the universe that, like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for, this is not what I want, right? This is definitely a no for me. And then so these things might just start to fall away on their own, and to start to kind of narrow your choices down for you, and it might become a little bit more clear. But I do feel ultimately this is really about rising to the occasion, right? Giving yourself the ability to kind of see the vision a little bit more clearly as a result of taking action on the things that are important to you, right? And so leading through this with a mental and emotional strength, right? So Spirit's saying like lead with strength, but I feel like this is really mostly a mental strength or an emotional strength that you're leading with, even though this page looks like it's very much a physical strength. He looks very strong, right? But we can be strong in other ways, and we can lead through creating boundaries around what we want and what we don't want, and co-create in a beautiful space with the universe as well for what we are building in our lives. And so I feel like you have a great ability to endure through, a lot of things in our lives. And I feel like this is really a challenge to kind of rise above those obstacles, rise above the distractions, and stay focused. Where you're putting in your time and your effort will turn out to give back to you in the end. And so this is a really beautiful reading that we have here for this weekend, and I do so hope that this resonates for you in some way, shape, or form. And thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you feel inclined to share this, if you know somebody that might benefit from hearing the message, please do share. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com, or you can hit me up in the messenger on Facebook, or you can simply book a session with me through the Square site, my website. It's pinned at the description box on YouTube, or at the top of the page on my Facebook. So as always, I hope everybody has an amazing weekend, and I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.